I don't know.
The whole thing is just.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I think it's everything that we do now is just tradition, but I think it comes from some kind of spiritual practice. I think most things that we have done in the past that we continue to do now that's transformed into tradition has come from some kind of spiritual background. Like most things were like used as sacrifices, used as a ceremony to the gods, used most things were done in that manner. And then after a while it became like that's just something that we do. That's just we've always done. Some people might still know why, but like a lot of people don't. That's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these different cultures got like, like we were talking about the other day, like they all have these gods, but they got something differently about how they should worship them, how they should talk to them, how they should praise them, how they should sacrifice to them. But it's all for the same end goal, is to serve their God. But the methods are different. I don't know if that's based on the person or if that's actually based on God speaking to these people.
Yeah.
And their purpose was to have other people follow them, for the purpose of the higher power.
I got it.
I don't know. None of us really know.
So what would cause this with the big extreme dysfunction at a black funeral, which may cause fighting or shooting, versus at a white funeral where everyone's kind of like calm? Because it's it's quite often a lot of black funerals that people end up fighting.
Yeah, I mean that's just based on our surroundings, environment, upbringing. That was because we are reactors and not responders.
That's profound.
Okay.
So we do a lot of things that are very unnecessary, but we have been fed that these things are normal. That's just what we do.
Yeah.
It becomes, justified in a sense through a lot of it now through media. Like we see right. It's like even though they say media is a portrayal of human nature, what's going on in the world and society. When we look at certain movies, a lot of people tend to they captivate you to where you feel like you are a part of the main character or you are a character in the story. Like that's how they sell that emotional connection to movies. So when you emotionally connect to things of that nature, when you see things that they do, it triggers something in you that justifies some of their actions that you see on television, which in turn is going to come back to justify your own actions because you've seen this before. You're programmed to see that this is the normal way people react or act in certain situations because you see it in movies, TV, you see it everywhere. So it becomes like, so by the time it happens in your life, that's just normal. You're already programmed to react a certain way.
It's funny you say that because like it seems like we're programmed to look at life in like a third person view. I think that's kind of weird. We should have like the first person to do with the world.
Because we don't live in first person. We do because of our consciousness.
Right.
Technically we live in first person, but we don't live in first person.
We don't participate in our lives in that way.
Right. We a lot of us base our lives on what's going on outside.
Yeah.
True.
And not what we want to do.
True.
You always hear those phrases that sound cliche, like "look within." And it sounds funny because like society doesn't encourage that kind of thought process.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
It's not cool, and I mean the narrative is that you're weird. Like the whole idea of the construct of being weird. Like when we take that at face value and you put it on the table, you think, okay, somebody is not fitting in.
Yeah.
But people are not meant to fit in, and we all have different abilities. So when you come to terms with that, and then you realize there's nothing wrong with me, I'm just not like this group of people. Then you're dealing with some more truth and some more reality, you know, and you can empower yourself and others.
But why is that? Why just that process that you just had? Why is that process so difficult for other people to get? The fact that you can be separate.
Because everybody don't see beyond the program. Everybody don't see beyond the program. Like the program is.
You think people
is very
cool and not cool?
No, the program is very simple because it entices all of you to only care about your immediate desires. So when you have like they music is a very powerful thing.
But I think it's powerful on different levels too.
Yes. So the thing is though, music is like it's the worm on the hook. Music is the worm on the hook. That's how they get you like, okay, I feel like this, I like this, it's making me feel good. You now associate that music to a person. You now associate that person to a brand. You now associate all these brands to famous people and they getting all this attention. Now, because they're wearing and endorsing and doing these things with these brands, they make certain things cool. And it makes it cool to be a part of that world. Because we don't feel like we are cool enough. A lot of people are attention seekers. So because they're looking out for attention, there's no time to give attention to yourself.
Right.
You're seeking it
Viral
from everyone
virus
else.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That viral virus thing where people kind of act out to get attention. Doesn't really matter if it's good
Or bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's just a validation.
I never understood that. Like,
Because people
I know money is a big thing for that. You know, that's the reason why someone would do something completely out of character. But why, bro? Like what's really pushing you to make that decision to get that?
survival.
But you're surviving.
Everybody don't feel that way on many levels. Because success could be, is rooted into survival for some people, and failure is rooted in death. A lot of people do a lot of things because their levels or their thought processes on what's successful to them is just that strong. It doesn't matter what it's in. So they build so there's many different realities for everyone of what is real, what's important, and what's not important and unnecessary. Now, again, we keep going back to the same thing. None of these people are wrong. The issue is we have disconnected and misunderstand the use of how our unity can make everything better and continuing to grow the way that we are. We can continue to grow at this rate in terms of trying to bring people together, make more connections and all these things like that. But until we have an understanding that your way is no better than my way, and my way is no better than his way is no better than her way. We all have our own path, and that's okay for us to take this path. I don't have to have the same amount of money that you do. You don't have to have the same amount of knowledge and understanding I do. I don't have to read the same amount of books that they do. They don't have to watch as much
just
TV or it's just we can just live the life that we want to live. But there's too much judgment everywhere.
Well said.
Is that also valid when we talk about cancel culture? Is that something that's like, what's your opinions? What's your views on cancel culture? Like
Cancer culture?
Yeah.
Cancel.
You might know a little bit more about cancel culture than I do. I know about it, but
So what do we mean? Like the actual terminal disease?
no, cancel.
The act of canceling.
Cancel culture.
Oh.
So like how people, you know what I'm saying? Like people trying to cancel R. Kelly. You talked about that.
fans.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to that extreme,
Like how they-
but like
and getting people in trouble on some dumb shit. Like
Yeah.
what they did with Kevin Hart and the Oscars.
They call it cancel.
Cancel culture.
Yes, but-
They're trying to cancel. They're trying to cancel you.
no, but people have gotten all the way to fuck up out of here. Some people have gotten all the way to fuck
So
up
give
out
me.
of here.
So you said R. Kelly was an example.
R. Kelly was one, but that was going to happen anyway because of that shit. But Kevin Hart was a big one.
Roseanne Barr.
So Kevin Hart's, what was his story about the affair he had?
No, it was he was about to do the Oscars right before when he got selected for the Oscars. Right before he was about to do it,
Yeah.
some tweets came or some people started getting on him about his tweets that he made 10 years ago
Craziness.
about like some homosexuality, like making a joke about homosexuality
Okay.
10 years ago. So they caused so much commotion, and that was like the topic of discussion for everyone instead of him being at the Oscars. So he felt like, so him and the Oscars felt like it was just too much attention surrounding it, and it was thinking about getting a different host. But then they changed their mind. But he was just like, I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Okay. So what do I think about that happening?
Well, fans were attacking him. Let's keep
Yeah.
all of this in mind. Death threats, the most extreme you can think of. Yeah.
They mad at him because he wouldn't attend the awards.
No, because of the tweets.
Yes,
Tweets.
and his apology, I guess.
They wanted him to apologize. He apologized about it years ago.
What did he say on the Twitter? What did he say?
I don't know. Hey, I never read what it said either.
Something slightly offensive. Probably not the most extreme offensive thing that someone could say, but it was offensive.
Yeah.
It was against homosexuals.
Yeah.
And so they mad at him because of those tweets from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And how did they come up now?
Right.
Fans going back,
That's the point.
or people just trying to
Just fishing.
verify. Yeah.
Like,
That's usually how that's
and even Jobs has been like getting in on this, kind of crazy. So I'm a WWE fan. So it's this guy on there named Lars Sullivan.
Okay.
Kind of a newer cat. He had some tweets like 7 or 9 years ago. Same situation, something about like homosexuality, and he apologized for it. But they fined him, was it $150,000
Oh my.
for tweets that he made 7 to 9 years ago.
Oh my.
Wow. What kind of laws are in effect? Like, what are people signing? Because, like, I don't understand how there's any grounds to come after somebody for anything that's on social media.
Well,
Especially for 10 years.
but
That
that's
connection to the brand.
also
so that makes
That's what it is. The connection to the brand. You
That's-
cannot devalue anything they feel like is devalue to the brand.
Which makes sense. But,
It
like,
makes
how
sense.
far can we backdate?
You're right.
That don't make
That's-
sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're fishing.
But that's the whole culture though. The culture is going back and trying to, they basically just not validating anyone.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at what point can we say, okay, now he's liable for his comments? Like, was he under contract 10 years ago when he said those things?
It's the way the world seems like it's been going. It's like there's a lot of left and there's a lot of right,
Mm-hmm.
and that's on every topic. And if you're not where that majority is,
Right.
no matter what time period you said it, now, oh no, we cool because you about this, we not about this. That's the kind of vibe it gives off now. It's weird. It's like
Associations.
exactly, but it's like I may have said this 20 years ago.
Come on.
Is there no time to grow?
Yeah,
or
come
change
on. Like,
within
come
that?
on.
And people just look at it like, oh, now we can hate. So now let the trolling begin. Means everything. And they, and they stir the pot.
Yeah.
And then it gets to...
It's a lot of cloud chasing. That's the best thing I can say it is.
Yes.
Y'all heard about the guy. I don't even know the full story. So if I'm anybody online, if I'm misquoting this story, go ahead and correct me or comment up underneath it. But apparently this guy, he's seen 50 Cent. 50 was with, what's this girl's name? Not Nicki Minaj. She was with some female, but this guy wanted him to listen to him rap, and the only thing that they caught on camera was 50 saying, "No, it's not gonna work." And the dude was like, "You ain't gonna just shout me out on the ground." And 50 was like, "It's stupid." And then the whole story was just blowing it up, and I'm like, "Come on, man! I'm sure this stuff happens all the time to him." But it's like people don't be really using sound thought.
That comes back into that I had read enough about that. That person was acting out to get attention to try to bring attention to him and his image, right? But during that exchange, 50 was like, "Yo, that's not how this process works, bro. You can't. This is not time or place. I'm with my girl."
Come on.
And like the whole time, 50 is in guard.
Yeah.
He's in guard
position.
Like he ready to swing because dude jumping
back,
pulling his pants up, taking his phone off, his keys in his pocket. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it was the whole thing. It just seemed like the guy was trying to say, "Yo, check out my shit. Yeah. Just because you big,
right? I
see you. Ain't no better time than now." And that wasn't the right time.
Yeah. You're not doing. You see, because he doesn't understand. It's like
some people don't, and that goes into that viral virus thing. You see celebrity, "Oh, what's up? Yo, I'm here. Hey, I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna get you."
Right, that's not how it go. Yeah, you can't do that. Because you're creating bad business.
That's not how you get ahead.
They don't understand that they're participating in business, and in business, there's a certain behavior. There's a certain conduct. You can't just do anything at any given time. Just because you see that, man, he would respect you a lot more if you say, "Hey, I'm not trying to interrupt your day. Here's my card. I want to talk to you about an opportunity. I understand you hear this all the time, but trust me, I won't waste your time for 5 minutes." You got to get your persuasion on. You can't just be.
So if you were in that situation, would you have approached them, or would you?
Not at that moment, but if I felt like
girl, they come out movies.
Yeah, definitely not. But if I felt like I have no other opportunity, I'm gonna jump in front of them. Like, "I'm sorry, excuse me, I understand you on your day, but look, here's my card. I know you hear this 100 times. Give me 5 minutes. I promise you won't regret it. Make it make sense. Don't, because he's busy."
So what you're saying is that you still should do it, but your way of attack should be different.
I would say only if you feel like that's your only opportunity to get his attention. Like if you think like he leaving my city after this and he gonna be at the airport in the morning, maybe you should go for it. If it's your last opportunity and you feel like, man, this is what I need. But if you feel like it's not that kind of high stakes, I would say step to him at a whole different time. He on casual time. He on Curtis Jackson time.
Right. Like I'm like 50's a big dude. I'm not running up on him no way. Like,
but he a respectable dude too.
Still, he still comes from that. Don't get in my face, or I will fuck you up.
Right.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
And I don't even think 50 was ready to be in that bag, but it was just how dude body language was coming. Like 50, but like I'm pretty sure it was reactive.
His hands was.
But that's what I'm saying, reactive. He wouldn't have began with that if he hadn't got any indications that this dude was a little unstable. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't have went that way. If he was polished, you'd have stepped to him on a whole nother time when he went on a personal time. And if
how often do you see 50 walking?
How often, right? So maybe he felt like it was go for it, but it was just the wrong execution, man. Nah, he really ain't gonna want to work with you. Come on. He really ain't about to work with you. Just how you present yourself. It makes all the difference.
It does.
It makes all the difference.
You gotta move a certain way. I don't understand why rappers in general, or just I ain't gonna say it's rappers, but some people just move the way they should, bringing too much noise around them when they need to be a little bit quiet. You're a celebrity, there's already too much attention that's gravitating to you. You can't bring attention to yourself, especially the smoke, when you're trying to move forward in your career. Because you get situations where someone want to test you, especially if you're a rapper. You have to worry about, especially when you start touring and stuff. Someone's gonna think that you're tough shit, depending on what kind of lyrics you sing or how you present yourself. People have to move differently out here. Too many people are dying.
Yeah.
There's too much shit going on out here, like too much bullshit.
Yeah. Truly. You know, and unfortunately, you know, the Nipsey Hussle thing, you know, that's
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Rest in power too.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, there's some other motivations we probably aren't privy to as far as why he was murdered. But like another aspect of that, or another perspective of that, is like, you know, you can't just move as if you're just a common man. You know, like you're not better than anyone, but you're not common anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that changes things. And as much as we want to stay real and connected with people, you know, you have to play chess also, because, you know, all friends are not friends and not all enemies are actually enemies. Like, you know, you just have to see things for what they are. You know, you can have people that really love you and they're close to you, but they, you know, genuinely might have some envy. And so you have to consider those things and not put yourself in positions where you're looking vulnerable or are vulnerable.
Do you think that a lot of those relationships that celebrities have are necessarily real, genuine relationships? From looking on the outside, if you were to make an assumption about it, would you say they fake relationships, or do you think a lot of celebrities they have genuine relationships and really cool?
I think it's both. Like you talking about with celebrities, like having friendships with other celebrities in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like some of those can be genuine, but I think the percentage is small. Now you do have real authentic people in high places.
Why is that though? Why is everyone kind of dispersed and not really together?
Because, well, in entertainment, you know, the objective is just to gain the person's attention, you know, to captivate your audience. And a lot of times that is done at whatever cost. And so what in turn happens is you got people who will compromise themselves. People will say, hey, I'll do it. I'll put on the dress, or I'll give a poisonous message to thousands or millions, you know.
And that's my problem. They must have set the example.
Yeah. But like you gotta understand.
The ones that's in that position, they are the ones that have that spotlight on them.
See, but that's the thing, like
I know I can't expect it.
No, like should they be though? Like should that be their responsibility?
To share
like
light?
it's not.
Well, yeah.
But why?
Because if you are of our race, you would at least recognize the difficulties and the issues that we have in the United States. And as someone of that nature and that position, you have family that's at the bottom. You think they ain't got friends? You think it's not, or that's not a cycle that you not involved with? You too good to be a part of it now? Like, you not this guy, but you be. I don't associate. I mean, that's not cool. When you're in that position, you gotta look out some kind of way, I would think.
I see what you're saying.
To some degree, I'm not saying be the biggest push, but I mean, do something. Try to make a song or something that's different from what you usually make.
Yeah.
You know, try to bring some different kind of light to you as a person. You're not just this fucked up ass person. Because I know damn fucking well, like these rappers, when they talk about this gun, shoot them up, kill them, they don't feel that way. Like when they on tour and they rapping these songs, they really don't feel like going to the block and like, shut up. Like, you don't feel that way.
Yeah. But see, they're in business, and see, what we can't forget is like their situations are not very different from our situations.
They gotta write some of that.
Yeah. But like here's the similarity, right? Now, like when we go to jobs, we have, you know, supervisors who we can see, managers who we can see, and some of them are on site, some of them are not on site. But ultimately, the point is, we signed up to do whatever that contract said was our job objective.
Train your lawyer.
Huh?
You need a lawyer, but you know,
too.
but it's the same.
Cover your shit.
But it's the same exact thing in those professions too, because all right, so if you're an entertainer, someone's paying you, unless you're an entertainer who was a entrepreneur, self-entrepreneur. So with that being said, you signed a contract that say I'm gonna perform these services for X, Y, and Z record company. So
you gotta know what you want though.
Well, here's the thing. You signed in.
Deal.
You signed in. The contract will always say what the contract will say.
Okay.
So when you sign, you're agreeing. Period. They might have certain options like, okay, yes or no, or you know, what do you want to do in this situation? But it's already a predetermined agreement.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
when you put your name on that line, just like how we signed a W-4 or a job application, we're agreeing to the terms. And so these guys are paid by people who invest in them. And these investors say, okay, this is what I want to see done. You got the ability. This is the agenda. So you said that you were competent enough to do this. So with that being said, this is what we need you to do. And if you don't do it, then this is what happens. And if you don't do it, then this may happen. And that's just how these agreements go, because ultimately this whole system of, like what we were speaking about last time, you know, this whole system of capitalism is a monopoly board. So your investors are the ones with the pockets. They make things happen. And this is why we hear about Dame Dash in so many lawsuits and certain legal matters, because he's a self-entrepreneur. So he's competing with these other corporations. They're all at the dinner table and everybody trying to get their money. And then you got certain people who are conducting business real slimy. And you got certain people who conducting business real respectably. You know, how is Dame Dash doing it? I'm not sure, but I think he's a good guy. And I think he goes through a lot of shit. But why? Because this is what we all signed up to. America is a big monopoly board. So that's why we be going through that shit. You know, we compromise for the dollar.
I don't think everybody necessarily like moves away from the hood, not necessarily in like physically, but mentally and emotionally. I don't think it's all, or I rarely think it's people who just think they're too good now. I think a lot of people, at least in our situation, because we always on, like our crew is our crew. Like we wired that way. We come from tribes. So our friends are our tribes. It would be rare for a situation for someone to make it out the hood and not come back and show love, not be with their friends, not like talk to anybody from the hood, unless things go sour. There are a lot of people that's not even on the, you know, people still in the hood, they become extremely envious. You know, they start thinking that you're too good. You know, they start making shit up in their head where, you know, they making up stories to everybody else, like he was too good, he was too good for this, but his best friend just didn't know how to take his success because he was too guilty and shameful of his own lack thereof. And that happens a lot. That happens a whole lot. And also, some people might have changed their mindset to get to where they at, and their friends refuse to do so. You know, everybody don't hang around intelligent people where people can control themselves to some degree. So
I would say most people don't.
Their friends just holding them back. Yeah. So they had to leave.
I didn't think about it like that.
It's a privilege to have people that are close to you with wisdom and respect and morals. You know, that shit is a privilege now. You know, it shouldn't be. I mean, it should be very normal. You know?
Yeah.
But when you have some sort of worth, integrity, something, you know, it's like a special circumstance, special situation.
Sure.
There was this post that I seen on Instagram. Somebody reposted it, but you know how they'll take a screenshot of somebody's Twitter post, and the person in the tweet, they said, me treating you right doesn't mean I'm the one. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. And I was like, wow. And that says so much.
Yeah.
Because
It's simple, but it says a lot.
People are so deprived of things that they should have that they get it, and they may not always get it from the right place. You know, you might have got something good, but it wasn't enough good. It's like, he listens to me. He doesn't tell me to shut up. Yeah, but he slaps you too. It's like, so you gotta balance shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's not a good balance.
You know?
That's not a good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emotional happiness is not worth physical pain in that manner.
You know? And emotional control. That needs to be a practice.
That's a big one. Because we're so attached to our emotions. That's why it's more harmful than physical. Like we become so detached from our bodies from in so many different ways. And now because we are growing so attached to our emotions, it's like that's how they play emotional warfare on us.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did. They got disconnected from ourselves, enhance our emotional irrationalities, and they just played with it.
Man, and it's sinister, man. It's just a lot more, you know, like what you were saying earlier with the desensitization. You know, they show you things so many times, you know, subconsciously you accept it, you know, and we look at things and say, oh, that's just a game, that's just a movie, but you know, the effects are long term. You know, yeah.
Imagine, think about it like this. It's going to be almost impossible to think about because you already know, but imagine someone who never seen a zombie movie, and they just saw a zombie on the street. They won't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And it will be,
they
will be scared. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like once they figure something is wrong, they'll probably be scared shitless. If people are fear the unknown. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? But because we have been so programmed for the preparation of zombies, we actually have conversations about what we're going to do when the zombie apocalypse happens. We already prepared for it.
Nigga said, shit, I got that shotty.
I'm going to Walmart. We locking shit up.
Got that flamethrower, my nigga.
That happens with everything. That's why that's why all this technology shit. That's why some things with the Simpsons are so profound. And certain movies in the future, like Star Trek and all that shit, is so profound because once it's now we expect it. Man. Once we get it, we become so acclimated to it. It's so easy for it to be used against us. They make everything so convenient, so dumbed down, and keeps us here talking a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But not really meaning anything. No action doesn't have to go behind words that you say in the ether that people can read. Do some kind of connections of shit in the air. The internet is fucking crazy.
Man,
it is. It's so much shit on the internet.
Like shit, like think about shit like that makes you feel like dumb as fuck. Because I have no idea how the internet works.
I love the tech. I just think the use of it is, you know,
the use is what's really, really scary because there's so much there's a war going on, and it's on a level that we don't get because it's between the techies, the government, and the other techies in China. Feel me? So these people are fighting over who's going to be top spot for data, all the tech, and where this data and this information goes.
Proxy war.
Everything's collected from text that you send out, from how many times you view a video, you listen to a song on YouTube or Spotify. All of that's tracked. And this data goes nowhere but to
databases.
Exactly. So this data that they're collecting, I mean, what do you think is being collected for, and why is there a fight for?
Right. Big money and control.
Is sure. I don't.
On one level.
That's one level of it, but I mean, I just don't get the fight.
You don't get to fight because whoever has, because they're the top two countries in the world. Whoever has and can hold that information becomes number one. Now these databases, if it's all of that, that's control of certain financial assets, I would imagine too.
So you think that's can put you in the possession of a lot of money?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Because of the
what's in
power?
it. I don't know what's in it, but
It's important. It's all important though.
yeah.
You know, I mean, because there's so many layers. You can look at it on the commercial side or the capitalistic side and say, okay, well, that's big money for corporations, so they're gonna know what to sell, what to advertise to you. You know, then you can take a step beyond that and put it in the realm of what we call conspiracy theory and say, well, you know, what they really want. But like,
no.
but it's like it's not even far fetched. It's not really. It's just that TV has raised everybody. So we don't have a authentic sense of reality. And that's the problem. You know, you like his example with the zombie. It's like that is serious beyond all seriousness. But we've watched TV and movies for so long, listened to radio for so long, you know, now everything that is something that should get your attention is passive.
Yeah.
You know, it's just desensitized. You know, you see somebody get shot, you're like, damn, he got shot. He's supposed to go, duh! He's supposed to explode. People supposed to be crying. Like that's not normal. You're not supposed to just watch that happen.
That's what's crazy. What you just said, that one person dying was so impacted, right? But we could hear something about 200,000-300,000 people dying and go, oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, because overseas, it's far.
Not
Yeah, all them niggas died.
Damn.
And it's entertaining.
What's for dinner?
Right, what's for dinner? Right after.
It's like, oh,
It's not close. Yeah. It's easy. It's easy.
it's just crazy how the
Yeah.
world is.
It's real easy to go, oh yeah, that happened over there.
Yeah. So we live in a microscope.
Yeah.
We don't think about the macro.
Yeah.
You don't think about the large picture. It's hard to. If you how could you be connected to somebody over there? You're not even connected to
You're not over there. And
you
you
ain't even connected to your neighbor.
and you still thinking about your immediate thoughts that you was already having.
You know?
How this rent gonna get paid? How's this gonna get done? You know, we so much in that we can't.
Oh, we so selfish.
Hey, bro, I want to pick you up from this building you about to fall off of. I gotta go to work.
The thing is, it's not a matter of us being selfish because I don't believe being selfish is a bad thing at all. But it's
Balance.
we're stuck in situations because of how how things are set up.
I'm gonna let that happen.
We're
No.
stuck in these certain situations because how things are set up. Like we gotta work, right? Because we gotta have shelter. You gotta have shelter. You gotta eat. You gotta have clothes, right? You gotta have travel to get to work. We have kids. We got kids to pay for. You got rent to pay for. You got so many things you gotta pay. Like that's just one. That one little thing creates so many other problems. You know, and now you're stuck in this time loop of 40, 50 years of just doing the same thing every day.
That's a very appropriate term to use. So that's all it is. Like, how can someone stay stimulated in that time loop? How can you still channel that energy you had when you were a kid? How? You can't.
Well, when I think about that, then that makes me want to go back into like 60s and 70s. What the fuck were y'all doing? What the fuck were they doing?
It was
in the
partying.
60s?
They was kicking it.
It was
In the
partying.
50s, in the 40s. What the fuck was niggas doing? Because it seems like now, fathom life, right?
Okay.
Life now, without none of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be doing right now?
With your peoples. Just
Yeah.
kicking it. Just
It
chilling.
was a lot of family time.
And then you'll go to work when
That
you
would
think
be
it was
the
time.
priority back then. That would be the go-to thing. Family and just.
It would be the
hanging out.
default.
Yeah, that's all you have. There's no extra. I mean, they had clubs. They had clubs, comedy clubs, bars, and stuff like that. So they had stuff to do, but it was a lot of family events.
So
A lot of family restaurants, a lot of family stores, like all that. That whole strip on St. Clair,
Yeah.
like all that was booming like 60, 70 years ago. That was a nice strip. But
It all just redirected you back to the people, everything, all those activities.
So
a lot of time outside.
So with this stuff now, all the tech that we have now, would that be a distraction or not a distraction?
It is.
It is very much distraction.
It can be.
But you're
used.
connected on a different level than you ever been connected to.
The machines are connected. We're not.
Right.
There's no interpersonal action. Like there's none of that. You know, the
There's no
devices
emotion.
There's no language being. There's no real language being transferred to each other.
the devices are connected, not the people.
Yeah.
You know, because with all of this accessibility, people are still far removed.
But
Even
that,
more.
see, but that logic only crosses over to a certain age,
Mm-hmm.
like us. Probably like 25 and younger.
Yeah.
Probably may or may not understand.
Right.
Because they grew up in
Exactly.
tech.
Exactly.
A lot of things they don't.
They don't have a prior
We're
reference.
so far way off when it comes to thinking. Like I don't know if you ever talk to someone really young
Yeah.
and just see where their views are.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's so. Have you?
Yeah.
It's so. Why is it so off like that? It's way off.
It's not that it's off. They live in a different world.
They live in a different world. They don't have any prior references. We can refer back to typewriters. What's that phone? Rotary dial. You know. Yeah. You know, Palm Pilot. Like we can refer back to stuff like that because we're just not that far from it. We just seen the technology make the leaps and bounds. But if you didn't have any reference prior to that, you don't have the grounding. You know.
Question, Dan. Do you feel like you can connect more with someone who's older or younger than you?
Depends on the person. Depends on the soul.
Okay.
You know, because like you can have either scenario. You can have somebody who's more old fashioned, but y'all just might not relate. And then you got somebody who's young, you know, more, you know, trend driven, and y'all might relate. It just depends on the person. But the values do matter though.
Sure.
You know, 'cause if you like 20 something, you don't have a lot of. I mean, you might. It depends. Cause like, man, you could have somebody who was just around you and was just real wise.
Yeah.
You could have been 20 and they just gave you everything that you really needed.
Yeah.
You know, and then you could have somebody who's like 10 or 15 years up on you, but they like childish in the mind. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like just who they are, what they was raised around.
Yeah.
You know. You be like, yeah, you still do that?
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because again, the life that you live, really, like I don't think the age too much matters on most things.
Yeah.
It's just really a mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset has to be cultivated by something. Though. Some people do it like some people do it for they've had like mentors to help them out. Some people do it because their parents just raised them that way to think differently. Some people got teachers. You know, some people, like, I don't know. Everybody got their own path.
Right.
Like, mine came from absence. I didn't have like anybody tell me anything. I was just, I guess, like being connected on the phone. I like, just hated it. There's a lot of things I just started to, shit just started to feel crazy.
It feel natural.
Yeah, like life just, I just felt like life just wasn't enough. Like something like this doesn't seem
fulfilling
at all. Like why do people like this shit? Like why do people like doing this every day? I don't understand. Just something
What, living?
like that. Like just going to work,
yeah. Time
texting here and there.
text. Why do you motherfuckers text? Foolish human.
Watch
What are your messages? What are you messaging?
Watch TV.
Take
here
me
and
to your
there.
leader.
That's probably exactly why they came fucking down here. Dumbass motherfucker.
You fucking stupid humans. You're on the same planet. What are you sending messages? Go see him. You're in the same planet. The alien's probably rigging them. Fuck is wrong with you? Okay, here. You want phones? Samsung. Fuck it. Ooh, what if it did happen that way? Could you believe that? If that was really the truth? How did we get smartphones? And that was how it happened.
That
Yeah,
shit.
they just drop them bitches in people's cars and shit.
But I mean, if you really want to think about how fast
my
tech
coin
just
star.
fucking grew, this shit didn't grow at such a fast rate. It wouldn't
Not
surprise me
That's
that
ridiculous.
something else is behind
You
it.
feel me, bro?
But then, but you also have to think about it. It's growing very fast.
Abnormally.
But you
Extreme.
yes, extremely, but we can't necessarily say abnormally because
Okay.
we don't have a reference.
You don't have a
For that.
reference.
We didn't have technology.
You're right.
In the past.
Yeah.
We had different.
Obsoleted a lot of shit.
We had different forms of
Hard drive's
technology.
about to be gone, my nigga.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
I mean, because they just found better, faster
Streaming.
ways to do it.
That is so scary to me. Everything that we grew up on is damn near gone. Like
Mm-hmm.
CDs, it's really about to be gone. Like gone. Only reason they had it is because they can still make some money, but everything's streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. What did we grow up with? Pagers, shit,
Mm-hmm.
radios, personal CD players,
Mm-hmm.
owning a CD case.
Mm-hmm. That was a shit.
Finding it, reading through the album artwork and
Yeah,
looking at the
and
credits,
lyrics and
that
all of
was
that.
fun.
That was raw.
You saved up $12-$14
Yeah.
to go get one CD so you can
Yeah.
look at the album and listen and look at the artwork.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
Yeah.
I can't do that no more. Now it's not even fun to look at music now.
But like, you see, it made more sense then too because your favorite artist was actually putting that time and effort into their body of work.
A lot of artists still do though. It's just people don't go to the albums.
Yeah.
It's the singles that's pop.
Hmm.
No one's really
What you think caused that though? You think it was because the format changed or because the content changed?
format.
Formats.
I would say the format to getting a hit and to keeping that hit. Like the way that a hit is done now is just like you hear it and it just streams every fucking where. That's just how we listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Versus back in the day, you would buy a whole album. You wasn't really just buying songs back in the day. When they're able to shift that transition, when like Apple made their big thing and say, "Hey, you can buy a song for $1."
Yeah.
I mean, and it all started there. And once they found out how to do that, all that other shit got gone. It's just not important. It's not valid now. It's just the easier way of doing things. And it's good and bad. I feel like. I mean, it's good because it's easy for artists to get known in so many ways, versus really being outside on the street trying to push some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, you could be at home and catch a hit.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't, need too much to really do.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good beat and some catchy shit. You put it out there, it may or may not hit.
Mm-hmm.
Might hit. If it do, hey, shit, you have to get in the car with somebody.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy how this shit works now. It's
Yeah.
just, back in the day, it was just different. It's just the way things moved and operated. It was just so different.
Yeah.
So different. there's no. I don't feel like people are putting their heart and soul into like their music, now,
Right.
Versus
back then, right? Times have changed. You know, our immediate desires, our immediate accessibility.
Yeah.
It's devalued a lot of other things because like most things, when you get it too fast, you don't have that time to build the appreciation.
True.
With anything, with the girl, with the job, with the house, with the car, whatever. It's like you get it too fast. It didn't feel like there was a lot of investment, so you didn't build the appreciation.
Whoever thought it was a really good thought to give a 16-year-old a couple $1 million, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea for a 14-year-old to be involved with that much money and making decisions about their money and shit. Like, sometimes that's not the best idea.
It's on the 14-year-old, the people around them.
True, but I mean,
by itself, hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
You better have somebody else.
We get a little older, you start spending it. We get like outside of your parents' comfort. Fuck, I want to kick it.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm grown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We start spending it. I don't know. I think that a lot of people, they don't, especially when you're in that position to be moving music, you're not being careless with your money.
That's not a problem, though. I mean, but that's not it's not their fault.
I know. It ain't.
It's not their fault.
It ain't. It's just, you
Because
never had it.
It's not a reason you can't take away like what they've been through in their environment. Them being 14, and some cultures they're full grown men.
Mm-hmm.
So mentally, that's not the problem. It's just they haven't been taught how to make money. They haven't been taught how to have self-discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who started that age?
Right.
You said who are at that age?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Individuals are really taught.
No, none. That's my
They should
point.
be responsible for it.
What?
They shouldn't be responsible for their money.
No, but I'm saying it's not their fault that they have not been taught that.
Yeah. They don't have the fault, but they have everyone.
Because
has responsibility.
mentally they can understand that information,
Yeah.
and use it. They haven't been taught it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their fault that they haven't been taught that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like the association or the correlation that people have with fault and responsibility, there should always be clarity when that comes up because, they are different. Like, if you were shot, it wasn't your fault. But if you were shot, you're responsible for recovery.
Yeah.
You're responsible for healing.
Sure.
It's your responsibility and how able you are to respond. But yeah, like in certain cultures, it does. Like, you ever call like a certain Chinese restaurant and they got kids answering the phone, taking your order. They train them young, and it's really good. Like you really want to start children on whatever path, even if it's not a particular path. Give them skills.
Yeah, so they'll know what to do when they get in those positions.
Give them skills and have them build experience because the younger you are, the more you're going to absorb without much inhibition. You're not going to really be jaded. Right. Kids are in touch with that magical, that bottomless well of energy that you have when you're a kid because you were so innocent. You were in the matrix. You was doing it with no doubt because you didn't see no doubt. Again, what can you see?
True.
So kids are instantly connected with that pool because they feel like, well, shit, what's stopping me? But then as you grow up, society gets the conditioning your mindset and you start thinking completely, adverse from what you were taught. They start taking away your possibilities and your ideas, and then you get taught this linear way of thinking and moving in life. And you be like, shit, I can't do that. That's only on TV. That's not realistic. That doesn't happen. What can you see? Because if you could see it, you could do it. Or at least begin.
True.
I believe that is a parent's most important and really only real job.
Just with this guy.
To be a guy.
Yeah. You gotta give him the tools and
people, I mean, like, as in, but that's it though. Like, you step back, you have, I don't think parents should have little to no outside influence on their kids' lives. Outside of what you have guided them to be, to be the best person that they can be, and who they are, and cultivate how they operate, how they learn, and how they want to live. And I don't think a parent guide or parents, I don't think they truly, in essence, have to say so, and they should try to express it as they do, to say yes or no to what their kids want to do when it comes to certain things in a certain age. Like, in the beginning, I believe in like protection and protect your kids, try to keep them safe. But when it comes to the things that they want to experience and learn and do, the parent job is not to control what that child wants to do, how they want to live their life.
You're allowed to give your thoughts, right? Or should you sit back and just not say anything?
I mean, and based on society, everyone is technically allowed to give their thoughts, but I think people we have a habit of projecting what we think in other people's lives because we don't agree with them, even though it has nothing to do with you.
True.
And we do that even more when we have connections with people.
So, okay, so let's do like the most extreme thing there, right? Say you have the daughter. She grows up, she does the most extreme thing, either dance, porn, or sex work, right? And she talks to you like, yo, Dad, you doing this. What are your thoughts? How do you handle that as a parent? Like, or how would you think that you would handle that as a parent? Your daughter.
Well, I don't know, but I can tell you my mindset about it.
Do you feel like you should be respectful to her choices?
Yes, because it's not my life. That's her life. That's what she wants to do.
Okay.
I could always talk to her about, I would get to know why before I would say, no, you can't do that. Ask her, why did you make that decision? Why is this? How do you feel when you do these things? If it's something that she really wants to do, who am I to say, well, no, you can't do that. That's not my place.
But if she still lives with you,
Doesn't matter.
she can live there and still do it?
Well, that depends on the parent. You don't have to. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to tolerate what you don't necessarily agree with. You can have a disagreement. That's not what I'm saying. You can definitely have a disagreement. You don't have to like what they're doing. But then you have to make a decision if you're going to tolerate it and accept it and keep them in your life, or you're going to use that as justification to not talk to this person anymore. Because you taking it personal, or you taking their decision personal. It doesn't matter how bad you might think it is. It's their decision. You can't take that personally. And parents do that. They take parenting personally. And parenting is not a personal thing.
Yeah, you can lay out everything well, perfectly, flawlessly, and they can still rebel. Are you a bad parent? They still got their own amount of will. The only thing you can take responsibility for is if you didn't expose them. You can always be like, well, at least I told you so. You've seen what was capable, what was possible if you chose that. It's the best thing you could do.
That's it. Then after that, it's just a matter of are you going to accept their decisions or not? Because if you don't accept it, that's not. Just know it's not the child's fault that y'all not talking, but it's yours because you can't get over your feelings and your own emotions to deal with the situation. Because it's only going to cause, you're only going to look at a person shamefully. We can't accept it. Even if you try to give them your life, it's not going to be the same. The relationship is going to be awkward. Like it's hard to keep certain emotions down if you haven't accepted what's really going on.
Profound, brother. Profound.
Big facts.
Profound. We gonna take a minute to go to commercial site. We'll go to commercials on podcast. That's when you get like 17 thumbs down. Just for that joke.
Yesterday,
You start with your yesterday. I'm gonna tell you about my yesterday.
oh no, yeah, no, you go first.
Man, okay. Now, fair warning, the things that I'm saying is not for slander. Okay, I'm not here to make anybody look bad, but there are certain moments in life where you got to call certain things to attention, so other people might be able to potentially recognize it. All right. So, hip hop, well, not hip hop, but 90s themed house party. I'm supposed to be going to it last night, right? So my man told me about it. I used to work with him, so he told me about the party and everything. And I went and got cut up, so I got my 90s fade, you know what I mean, with the part in it. Couldn't get an outfit quick enough. I tried to get it for my man Eugene. He couldn't put me together in time. I ended up getting a fit for my dad. So I'm like, cool. So my man, I'm not thinking that his phone would potentially be off. So his phone is off, which I find out later on through the night. But, time is approaching. I'm here. It's like 7:30. Party's supposed to start at 8. Now, the whole concept of the house party was they were doing a music video, but the house party was the set. So it made sense. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm supposed to have a friend that used to also work at this job that I knew him from. She's supposed to go with me. Long story short, she can't go. So it ends up just being me. So I head down there. I arrive about 10 o'clock. The address is like 3508 West 35th, right? Now, when he initially texted me the address, it said 13508. Okay, no big deal. I figured out that it's no one. I get off the bus. I don't see no kind of indication of a party. I don't see people. I don't see cars. I don't hear music. I don't feel rhythm in the air. I don't feel nothing.
Right.
The whole block partyless. Like people on their porches, chilling, drinking, sipping, whatever. Real cool, you know what I'm saying? But I'm walking around, I'm like, where's the party? I don't hear nothing. So I'm thinking, okay, call my man. Call his phone. This phone number cannot accept any incoming calls. All right, perfect time for this. Okay. So then I'm like, everybody on their messenger.
Yeah.
Call him on his messenger, no answers. 58 minutes ago, he was active. I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking, who else do I know? So I go back into the Facebook group. I'm like, okay, all these people that was commenting, talking about, yeah, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna be there at this time. Somebody got to be in the area. Somebody got to know. Man, trying to video call people, it won't let you do it if you're not friends. Message people, yo, you know where this party is? Hit up like 7 people. One person called back. Actually, text me, messaged me first. Said 3508. I said, okay. So I call him. He answers. I'm like, yo, can you help me get to this party? Like, I don't know where it is. I'm on 35th. I'm between Trowbridge and Woodbridge. It got to be somewhere. He like, it's 3508. I say, I understand. But like, I'm right amongst what could be 3508. Like, I'm like looking at 3510. So I'm sure I should be close. He like, yeah, it's 3508. I'm like, all right, thanks. Can you help? Like, is there anybody that knows the area? Like you, somebody around? You got my man number? I'm trying not to say his name because I don't want to put him on blast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you got his number? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, does anybody know anything? Can you help me get there? I'm like, I'm looking for this party. I'm like, this whole shit is like imaginary. Like, where is this party? He's like, no, it's real. You just gotta go to 3508. Just hit that on the flyer. I hung up on him. So I'm still looking, and then I'm like, I'm not about to be looking, and it's like at nighttime now, and I done already passed a certain house 3 times. I'm not about to be looking like no serial killer.
Yeah.
People know I ain't from over there.
Yeah.
You know, the community was Hispanic over there, and everybody was cool. So, you know, they ain't take nothing no kind of way, but I'm not about to be walking all up and down trying to identify houses. So I walked to a bus stop. I'm like, okay, I got to get in touch with somebody. So the dude that actually called back, he called again with my dude on the phone. I guess he found him and got on his messenger. He like, yeah, man, what's up? I'm like, I'm trying to look at this party. Like, can't nobody tell me a landmark or nothing? Like, who is around that knows the area? Is there somebody like close that we can get in touch with? He's like, yeah, it's 3508. I'm like, thanks. But I'm in the area, okay? So I know I'm close. Can you tell me what's on a corner or something? He can't. So I'm like, do you know where this is? Like, where is the party? He's like, you're not far from it. Okay. Like, it's like A, B, A, B. There's nobody saying, all right, this is what you got to do. There's no initiative taken. So I'm like, yo, I can't be far, man. Like, can one of y'all come get me or something? He was like, okay, got you. I'm like, so I'm the genius. Okay.
No way. That's crazy. They thought about that. And
Man,
you was probably waiting for at least a half hour.
Bruh, more. Hour 15. I got there about like 10:30. Party started at 8. Of course, I'm not gonna pull up at 8, but I'm like, okay, I'm thinking I should clearly be able to identify a party once I get in the area.
Yeah. Was the party at least okay when you got there?
Man, I didn't even fucking go in. I was so blown. Man, these niggas came and got me. It's like, yo. I just can't even say anything at that time. I just get in the car. So then these niggas make like 3 lefts, 2 rights, and then we end up, I guess, 4 blocks or 3 blocks away from where I was at. I'm like, yo, I asked him, I said, is your phone on? He's like, no. I'm like, is anybody else here that's at the party that knows the area? He's like, I think. I'm like, did anyone else have trouble getting here? He's like, no. Just no clear indication that it's an issue. He's like, you cool? I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say that would really be in line with keeping positive energy and not disrespecting nobody.
Yeah.
So at that point, we arrive at the party and then they walk up in there. I'll cross the street, walk and think for like a couple minutes, and then I get the fuck out of there. I'm like, I'm not about to do it. I can't. I've been wasting this time, and there's no way going forward I'm going to be in a good enough space to enjoy this.
Oh, shit.
Deal with people who have their shit together.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I'm going to a party and 7 people are unreachable. Everybody on Messenger 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. No current posts in the group. Nobody saying, hey, if you can't find it, here's how you get there.
That was funny.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, I'm like, I probably would have left too. That just sounds like some trash. Dealing with. It's like, all right, I know I was like a lightweight looking for this shit and trying to get in contact.
Come on.
For at least an hour. Like, I know y'all niggas know for sure I've been in contact with y'all.
Man.
Now y'all make a decision to come and link up with me. And y'all think I'm not gonna feel some type of way?
Yeah.
Not even a little? And then you don't even acknowledge that there was even an issue?
Yeah, like there's no indication that you see that was an issue.
Alright.
Then I'm like, who house is it? He like, well, it's some guy. He let us use the video. He not even here. I'm like, man, it's too much question marks. I can't do all this. I need communicated thoroughly shit. Like, it don't have to be ran like a fucking army boot camp, but I'm saying, like, don't niggas expect to be a window of contact?
Some people are not good for that, though.
Man.
As you can see.
Man. Damn. I was like, I can't do it. This is not going to be a positive experience for nobody. Because I'm going to have to talk about it. I'm not about to be dancing and then trying to not think about it. Like, fuck out of here.
That shit's on my mind, man.
Missed 2 buses for no reason. Came back home.
And I'm telling you, you was in the wrong area anyway.
It's a raw fucking. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like, it was so much more unbelievable than it was even frustrating.
That's that Google Map shit. You gotta use that Waze.
Oh, okay. I've been hearing about that.
That's that Google Map shit. That Google
I know
Map
Chuck
shit.
do that all the time. Google Map is trash.
It just took me right to where I was.
No, with this guy, plenty of times.
This dude would be going, I don't know where the fuck he be at, dude.
He'll send me the location. I put it in Google Maps. I'm 4.5 blocks away. I'm here. No, you're not.
I would show
I'm
him
here.
the message in my phone, and it would take me where I was.
Mine didn't. Mine went somewhere else.
You had maps. He had
Yeah.
Waze.
Apple
He got Apple.
Apple Maps.
Oh, Waze is an Apple app.
No, I said just stay alone.
It's a different app, but it's sweet though.
Yeah.
But if you drive, that's the one you drive and it tell you like the cop is coming up and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's on Android.
Yeah, you can get it anywhere.
Oh, okay. It's a paid app or it's a free one? It's a free one. I be hearing people talk about it in their bars. They be like, your Waze froze. Okay. So I know it's an app. You stuck in your Waze.
Oh shit.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit had me hot, y'all, man. Like,
I imagine.
but even more just like in disbelief than actual frustration.
Yeah. Is that good? You had that wherewithal to like don't even go for it.
Man.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could even win.
Yeah, I probably would just went in, been mad, and just left early.
Right.
Yeah, I
Like,
probably would have
and
been
you
for a
just
little
like
bit.
didn't even go in at all. You just walked
I
away
would
from
at
these
least went
things.
in for a little bit.
That shit's
I was
funny.
thinking about it, but I was like, I can't.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, I didn't came.
Right, exactly. That's how it felt. Like,
At
man,
least
let me
check
just see.
it out.
Right,
At least
fuck
check it
going
out.
on. And I was probably been more mad if that shit wasn't hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, bruh.
3 niggas in the corner. Oh, it's going, huh? Everybody else, yeah, even. Yeah, nigga, we called. None of you niggas was reachable.
That's funny.
Everybody 3 hours ago, 7 hours ago. I'm making posts in the event. I'm like, yo, where's the house?
That's funny. I know I saw it.
No likes. I'll probably go in there now. I still ain't got no comment there. Like,
I'm sure it's red. The
Red.
motherfucker.
important shit. Scroll on you. You could be like, I just got a new fish. 21 likes. Nigga, my car exploded. Nothing. Niggas like, you posted that? Yeah. Yeah. It said seen by 4. You fucking about your car exploding, nigga. You ain't gonna lie. Go lie then. What niggas don't go lie? I'm in the hospital, y'all.
That's funny.
They take me in here. That's how they had you on the stretcher. About to go in, y'all.
I don't
Share the
see how
shit.
people do that. I can't be recording when I'm going through like some real ass shit.
Real shit.
Like
You
I'm
gotta
not
think about
recording my
that.
life. No.
Yeah.
Get out of here. It's personal time.
Come on.
Leave me alone.
We have an argument. We got a phone.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
bitch. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, no.
That's how I live.
Alright.
Super
Like,
friend, man.
That's the stuff that sells the most. Why not keep your private times private? TMZ be all up in niggas' business. You straight trying to get to the bag. They exposing all the info. Don't give a fuck how you feel. Somebody died. Bam, I'm releasing the toxicology reports.
Like, damn.
Like, bro, we ain't even put it out.
Right.
Like, what are y'all doing?
Man, them niggas, boy.
Yeah.
At any cost.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a dangerous
No,
job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I couldn't let that like stop.
Like,
I be trying to get fucked up and do some shit like that. You can't just do that. You can't just make a profit off of pain.
come on.
That
Like,
just sounds like a fucked up business. It's
Come on.
nasty.
well, this is the shit that happens in entertainment, and this is why, you know, we be looking at entertainment. It's like, bruh, like, why can't you you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire. Why can't you put this in the hood? Why can't you do that? But the world that they in, it's so hard to stay authentic when you knee deep in that kind of like world.
Right.
Like, like I said earlier, we all compromise for the dollar. And until we can figure out the formula to say, okay, this is how I can make my living and sustain my integrity, my peace. Until you get that math problem, then you're going to forever be compromising. And that's what we got to deal with. Shit is all politics. We're not no different. You want to stay relevant to the black culture, but then the white culture is really paying your bills. So then, gotta get this rent paid. Then you start doing more fuck shit. Then you start losing them. Yeah, it's just
it's a cycle.
It shouldn't be like that though.
It should.
No, I mean, yeah, but that's how it's set up.
We should all be supporting each other.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, how much real shit really gets support and like just support? Like,
See, but the other thing is not to like shit on black business. 'Cause I'm not trying to shit on them, but like out the gate, if they have something that they can sell, they have to raise the price straight up to compete with whatever top shit. Because like 9 times out of 10, like if you go to just like the barber shop, right? And random chick who comes inside they got black soap, incense, the shea butters, all that shit. It's like $15-$20 for a little jar of shea butter and soap. You out $20 fucking dollars. You can go somewhere else and get it for like $5 or $6. Not to and like it's not to down them, but it's like it's kind of fucked up how we have to raise our prices just to get people to recognize the product in a sense, or to recognize the value of the product. But like everything is always the extreme amount first. Like if I sell a tee, I'm selling it for $30. The shirt cost me $1. The print, everything cost me like $5 or $6. But I'm gonna sell the shirt for $30. Why is it the markup always the extreme? You ever noticed that?
I mean, business is relative.
Except for when you get into like the real big designers, but like some of them just low end, just trying to make some money for themselves. They always raise the price up.
It's relative, man, because like you say, how much did it cost to make? But then I guess if I'm understanding your question right, like how do you determine how much you're gonna mark it up?
Yeah, like what, like not okay. I guess in a sense, what's the value of it?
What's the value of your markup? I'm not sure if I understand.
Like this is your album, right?
Okay.
What are you selling the album for? What is your value?
Right.
Your personal value.
Okay. Well, my
like,
personal value.
If albums cost $10.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you can sell your album for $25?
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't know because I wouldn't sell it for $25.
No, I mean I'm just saying, like where, like
How do you
it
determine
just
it?
seems like a big. I don't know. I mean, especially when like.
I mean, I guess with that part of it, it's just whatever you determine in your mind would make sense. But then you still have to be realistic and compare it with the cost of materials and the cost of just getting that product to people. You just always got to consider it and then, create a scenario in your mind that makes sense. Because we all got an idea of what's a cushion. We all got an idea of what's a comfortable amount of money to have to get from this time to this time. And so I guess, you just got to kind of match that up with whatever is comfortable to you now. Or if you're not comfortable, what would be comfortable? So for an example, like I could say, okay, if I feel comfy, a comfortable revenue for me would be $100 a day. So how do I make that achievable? Is it going to come weekly, bi-weekly, daily? However I get to it, I have to consider what goes into, earning it. My energy level, my rest, my transportation, whatever gets you to the means. or whatever the means are to get you to the goal. So with the album thing, I guess you could say, well, how much studio dollars do I got to spend? How many advertising dollars do I got to spend?
Gotcha.
You know, if I have copyrights, did I already do that? You know, do I got my streaming situation set up? All of that goes into it.
Well, I think with like music, though, it's not ways to make money except for if you're going on tour or if you got like a really good single.
It's however you make it.
It's to maintain the money is what's hard being an artist. I would say it's probably a difficult thing when you get some money. It's keeping that money. I would probably say it's hard. Challenging.
Yeah, that ties into how you live. You know, you gotta live within your means. You know, but like it's all kind of ways, man. Like Eric Sermon, he was on the Breakfast Club, and he actually owns a streaming platform. Like owns it, not it's just registered on a Tidal or a Spotify.
Yeah.
Like he's got his own streaming platform through which other artists actually participate. He gets paid. I don't know how he did it. So that's something I got to figure out. But that's why I say it's just how you got to do your research. Because
especially with other big markets.
it sounds like it, but like if you're around the information, you never know. It might be way more simple, but because it's not known, people don't even consider it. Because you know we consider every way to make money based on what was shown to us. All we were showed is. Well, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a rapper, you could be a fireman, you could be a... But what about all these other job functions that are necessary and that people don't know about? You know, a lot of people go to Hollywood and they work in production. And then when they say that to people, they be like, oh, what you, an actor? You know, what you, a cameraman? But there's so many other things.
It seems like that's the way the world is shifting.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like there's going to be too many roles or positions for someone to take that plumbing job or that electrician job or that landscaper job. It seems like everyone's going towards the entertainment field as far as anything. I mean, like YouTube got some of the craziest fucking things. You got kids who open up toys and get fucking millions of views.
Right.
20, 30 millions on them opening up toys. Kids. Or even someone making food or someone eating food.
Yeah, you're like, what? You're like millions?
Millions of views. It's like there's so many different ways to make money on here. It's
Things you would never think.
That seems like that's the shift though. No one's doing all the other stuff that I guess I would think needs to be functional for the world, which is why tech is getting so big so that other things can do it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it just seems like this entertainment shit in so many ways is a distraction from what's really important from functioning in the world.
Yeah, it's one of the many.
Because everyone thinks that they're a superstar or a movie star. Their life is more important than someone else's because they glorify it on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the case.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and then it's biblical too. You know, the Bible even said a lot of this stuff would happen. And not to get too religious, but you know, it's just information.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all of this was said to be based on the trends that have been passing without us really responding to them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things happen in the world, especially on the wall level.
Yeah.
You know, and then because we're not encouraged in life to be up on top of that type of stuff, a lot of things happen. Like in business, in this Western style of business that we participate in, and on the Western side of the world, there's so much exploitation that people don't know that happens. There's so many things that we agree to that we don't understand because we just knew. We just people living, you know, and then we be like, shit, I guess I gotta go get a job. And then you just start getting into this world, and then there's all of these things that you sign up for that you have no idea are happening. And I say that to say, you know, business mostly capitalizes on people not knowing what the fuck they should know.
True. That's how a lot of money is made.
You know, because they're cheaters too.
Yeah.
We just don't expect them to be because they got these big brands and stuff and big names and
Yeah. But you wouldn't expect them to do it no way.
because of the commercials and shit.
No, just because of the way that we think life is
A
supposed
lot
to
of
be.
people have. A lot of people still have a lot of trust in him.
Yeah, I mean,
and it should
it's
be
like if I
Right.
pay you to do a service, I expect you to do the service. not
Right.
Fuck me over.
right. Why shouldn't it be that simple?
I don't know.
What's your frame of reference?
Money.
You know, what have you seen? What have you experienced? These are the kind of questions people always need to be asking.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about? What do you see is most important? I think, because what you can see determines how far you'll go.
True.
You know, or at least it suggests how far you'll go. You know, but you'll never know. You could be better than whatever you thought you could be at one point in time if you didn't see it possible. Did I tell you about the guy on Vlad TV? He was he's in prison for like 20 years and he became like an expert stockbroker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this guy, I think he's in I don't know if this is the right name of the prison, San Quentin, or I don't know, could be, but even if I'm wrong, YouTube people,
Right. They'll figure it out.
I see y'all, zero of y'all, but yeah. So this guy, as a youth, he was just misguided and he couldn't read, and he was in situations where people who were much older than him were influencing him. And so he started living a life of crime. He would take things, steal, get money. And yeah, and he was always intelligent, but he just couldn't read. And so, he ended up going to jail. And throughout his time in prison, he learned how to read based off of hearing people use words. He learned the stock market just based off of newspaper articles. Mm-hmm. And he, over time, developed the skill with getting so good at the stock market that he teaches it. Oh, wow. And I think this was like 2016, I think, when they had this interview, so he might be out now. But, he said that if he would have seen guys like who were lawyers and people who were like upstanding, like they had what we would look at as like a respectable job, he said he'd have been like those people, but he weren't around them. He were around pimps, drug dealers, prostitutes, all the shit that's,
down.
But how far would you go if you didn't have a nice frame of reference for something? The moment you see something, yourself is going to tell yourself, I like it or I don't like it. And at that point, you'll do what you feel is necessary to get there or mimic it.
Probably where you see fit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So imagine if he'd have seen those upstanding citizens. He probably wouldn't have went to jail.
No. Not at all.
So,
probably got his life together.
But lo and behold, he got something great. So, was he wrong? Was it bad? It's his path.
True.
Nobody will ever have a story like his. And that's great.
There's a documentary. I was looking at the trailer for it, and I forget the name of it. It's on Netflix, though. Mm-hmm. But it's about a guy who made some music when he was young. And he made it here. He made it, I want to say in the 70s or 80s. We made like a whole bunch of music, right? And put it out. And it didn't do no traffic. Mm-hmm. He didn't do no traffic here. Nah. Mm-hmm. He go on and stop doing music and stuff, he becomes a construction worker. And in different country. I want to say Africa, Mm-hmm. He's a celebrity. Fucking celebrity.
As a construction worker, he's a celebrity there?
His music.
Yeah. Okay.
For 30 years, he never even knew.
Wow.
Ended up getting contacted by some management, some company or something. They flew him out. And he's a fucking millionaire now.
Wow.
After 30 fucking years of, he fucking quit doing what he was doing, and now he's living out there in, Africa,
That's right.
millionaire.
That's right.
Doing all his music, still writing new shit, and
Mhm.
ended up doing what he really wanted to do in life.
Mhm.
It's a trippy ass story.
Yeah.
Trippy ass story. Just
Because-
imagine that.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You just do something else with your life, and then when you get like 40, 50, something like, yo, come out here.
Yeah.
Nicest hotels, getting winded down,
Yeah.
going on stage, the whole crowd knowing every word for word, and you just like fucking amazed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you
That
know
shit
what?
Crazy.
That is crazy, man. But you know what? I look at that as a suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, stay true to your contributions. Stay true to whatever it is that moves you to do whatever you do, no matter who's watching. We don't have nobody on here right now, but it still goes.
Yeah.
It goes somewhere.
That's why you do it.
That's why you do it.
That's why you do it.
You can't do it for the validation. You gotta be the initiator. Because somewhere in the world somebody else feels like you, and they would have never imagined that somebody would have been able to say it. And we never know. It might be one person way in Germany somewhere, and they might be like, man, that shit that you said right here at 2 minutes and 32 seconds, like, that shit changed my life, or that shit affected me. It made me do this.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's magical.
It is. People get inspired by all different things.
Mm-hmm.
You never really know what that trigger is for that particular person until someone says like, "Yo, do you remember when you said no?" But it really inspired me, and I appreciate you sharing that message.
Yeah.
And this, for you, it's a humbling feeling. It feels great knowing that you said something or you acted in a certain way that inspire somebody else to make a change in theirs.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very
It's man. That's an amazing payment.
Very good.
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to do what's fucking right, and then you see
Right.
that it's working.
Right.
So it's a good feeling.
Yeah. And it can be hard when you don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I'm doing music since I was 11 years old. I see results, but it's like it's only one of those things that it's like that got to come from the inside, that motivation, because that ain't no quick thing if you want it to be substantial. It ain't quick. You got to really cultivate yourself and cultivate your gifts, and raise that shit like a gardener would. Yeah. Shit, how y'all feeling? Y'all want to chop it up or chop it down? Or I'm getting hungry.
I'm on the same page, bro.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting hungry.
I don't know how y'all feeling, but I could do a pizza.
That's on y'all.
Yeah. 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 What you doing? You hungry? How you feeling?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure.
Chill. Shit, I'm only saying it because, like, man, where my funds is, I'm gonna get this $5 redemption that they gave me.
Can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. It's got that little Caesars, that $5 house.
Hey.
That was dinner.
Hey, you got to put it together sometimes.
Yeah, brother. We didn't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
It was like we got that piece of spine, and then we got a different piece of spine. Ours is like $16.
Yeah.
I'll take the $5.
I know, that's right. See, I already got a $5 credit with them because I had an awfully horrendous experience at Pizza Hut.
Oh, really?
And
I ain't never had a bad experience there.
yeah, this one was crazy. And amazingly, I still came out not freaking out on them.
I don't have too many bad experiences at
I don't.
restaurants either.
I don't.
Not too many.
Yeah.
It's not often.
Yeah, it's not often for me. This
No,
shit was just like, whoa. I ain't never tell you about that Wendy's story, did I?
No, what happened?
Bruh, this girl in Wendy's is trying to fight my mom. The one on Warrensville? It's
Van Aiken?
not up that far. The one by across from Giant Eagle, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Warrensville Center.
Yeah.
Man, this particular day I was on the east side with my mom, we decided to go to that Wendy's. We get in there, and immediately, as soon as we get into the line, like the girl that's in front of me, I noticed that she just buried in her phone. Like she's just not even looking up. She's buried, which is like, all right, whatever, that's your business. But every time the line moves, she ain't know to move. Because that's how deep she was into her phone.
Yeah.
So, as this is happening, I'm talking to my mom, and I ended up telling her about the Pizza Hut experience. Long story short, my pizza was done a half an hour later than what they had actually told me. Like, they had never even told me that my pizza was done, and I had to tell the girl. Went home, discovered it was the wrong pizza, got back up there, told her manager they gave me $5 credit. So I'm telling my mom about this. But my mom like, oh man, that's crazy. People don't be they don't be that experienced or they don't care. And she was like, hey, my fault you ain't go to school. And she wasn't really talking to nobody in particular, but that was just, what she said about it. And so, the girl is like next to us in front of me, so she can hear it, but it ain't like the kind of conversation where you're trying to get people to participate. We're just talking about it. So first time the line moves, she don't see it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Second time the line moves, she don't see it. I'm like, all right, whatever. Third time, I'm like, are you in line? Because every time it's like, we got to look at you and wait for you to move. So she gives me the most dramatic pause. She in her phone. She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I see what we dealing with. Got one of you motherfuckers.
Some people just ain't got no damn sense.
There's no damn sense, right? So the line gets closer to the register, and then the girl's up there waiting for her order. So then she's just looking, and then me and my mom are like, at the back part where the little bench is, and she looks back at my mom and she's like, hello. I guess she thought my mom was staring at her. My mom was just looking forward. Mm-hmm. And she was like, hello, what you talking about? So the girl's like, I see you over there staring. Y'all doing the most back there talking shit and all that. Ain't nobody going for that. And we was confused. And the girl, she was like flipping out. And then she walked to the center, because like the line was still behind us. And it was probably like 8 to 10 people behind us. And she walked to the center where my mom was, and she just talking shit in her face. And then my mom checking her back. And I'm like, Mom, like, that girl ain't gonna do that. Like, let that girl go. She don't even know what she's talking about. And the girl was saying that we was doing the most. And I think she was just talking about the fact that we was talking about how people that be in food and beverage, a lot of times they don't be having no experience, or they don't be having no care, or both. And
but it wasn't targeted at her.
It wasn't targeted at her. And she just jumped right in it. And I guess she must have worked at food and beverage, or maybe knew somebody that worked in it, or just felt super, super strong about it. Because we like, how? Like, it doesn't make sense why you arguing with us. And then my mom called the girl a bum bitch. And the girl walked out. Then she came back in. Who a bum bitch? And then started it back up. And I'm like, Mom, let children play. I'm like, that girl, she out of her line. Like, she just way off point. Like, I ain't got shit to do with you, and then you already you in somebody's face with a stranger that you're screaming at. You don't know if they could pull out a gun or something. You don't know what the situation is.
You're not crazy, motherfucker.
You just jumped in it. Don't even know what the conversation is.
Cool. I ain't jumping in nobody's face. I do not know.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm not about to get in your face. And then call you out your name too.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
It's a good way to get hit. I'm cool. I'm not. I don't want to get hit.
like why? Like,
not free.
Yeah, not free.
I'm
right.
not gonna do it.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense, bro.
No. Because when I come up to you, it's like, I'm asking for it. We're not negotiating on if I'm gonna get punched. I'm talking shit. I'm probably gonna get punched. Cool.
That girl, man. And people do that a lot of times. They just don't be actively listening, or just not critical thinking.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man. But yo,
try to avoid them.
This is Just JUULZ podcast. We're not even gonna call it podcast, and I'm pointing up at the TV. It's actually here. This is the Just JUULZ ODDCAST. I'm Honestly Blade. This is my man Ronnie Cannon. This is my man Brandon Bello. We didn't introduce ourselves.
Sleepy head.
But we chilling, man.
Oh yeah.
Nothing high stakes. This ain't like super like, oh, we gotta sit here and get at a critical debate table. It's like, no, it's whatever we feel like chopping it on. Y'all want to drop anything before we leave?
No, I ain't got nothing dropping. See, my next album ain't coming out until like middle of the summer, ending of the summer. So I can check that out later.
We dropped JUULZ because this is the Just JUULZ ODDCAST. So y'all stay tuned. Stay plugged into this YouTube, and I'll keep sharing this content through the Facebook, through the Instagram, and it's just real chat, man. We just get on here and we just, we keep it all the way real and unfiltered. And if we have some topics, we'll come to the table with them. But y'all let us know what y'all think. Comment, like, subscribe, share, and we'll just keep it going like that. Peace. I know how to end my own life. Yes, end.